seek to understand than to be understood. You know what we got to get better at? When there is change, if you finally are going through something and the people around you are changing, acknowledge the change. Acknowledge the change so the door can open so you can do the same. Because what's scary is if you have not evolved in all these years, what's going to happen in 10? You ever had a conversation with a 60-year-old or a 50-year-old and you felt like you were speaking to somebody who was 16? Reading a book is essential. Reading a book is essential because it practices that ability to monitor the tone of the voice, the imagination of how to exercise your own voice to your head is essential. Read the right books and then apply what you're learning, because information is not power. Application of information, it's what's power. Some of us are too powerful to feel powerless. You have to. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of In the Living Room podcast, where we learn, laugh, and heal. And it's your favorite bald-headed Dominican from the Bronx. If this is the first episode you've ever seen on this channel, please just do a favor. If this is any value to you, if it moves you in any kind of way, wait till you get to the end. And if it's for you, subscribe to the channel. If you want to share, comment, and do the rest, by all means, I appreciate you, beloved. But this is the deal we have before we start. Cool? Cool. I want to say something that might rather ruffle some feathers. In the world we are today, I think it's okay, and I think it's needed in many situations for us to seek therapy, all right? Mental health is something that we shouldn't take lightly. And I just don't like when things start to feel like a trending topic opposed to something that we're really taking the time to, dissect. Mental health and a mental illness are two separate things, okay? For you are the person supposed to be aware of where you at throughout the day, right? Because I think we all have moods and we all have the right to feel, but you are the person in control of that voice in your mind. Here's what I mean. You can change the tone of what you're saying in your head right now. You could say it loud. I want you to say, "No, I'm not," in this voice. "No, I'm not." And then you can also say it, "No, I'm not." You could also whisper it. So you have control of the voice in your head. I'm saying that to you because these past couple weeks was a tough week for me. Mentally, I was dealing with a lot going on. Contracts with schools, new workplace, dropping episodes for a lot going on. In my mind, I felt like I couldn't get any silence. It was going back and forth. Yo, what's going on? You got to do this. And I felt tired as hell. And then you know what I realized I had to do? Yell to calm the fuck down in my head. I had to look and reflect and laugh and be like, yo, I'm just in my head. Let me go for a walk. Went for a walk and everything changed. Some of us who are emotionally unstable use the mental health theme line to stay in the way that you are, which is unfair. It's kind of those people that take advantage of the system, the people that don't need Section 8, the people that don't need, the health care, but find a loophole. It's like when people find a way to take advantage, we saw what happened when the PPP happened, when all this stuff, we're going to take away from the people that actually need it. I think you need therapy, right? I think we do. But think about therapy. For example, I've been hurt many times growing up playing sports, right? I refuse to believe that this is the process of therapy. Imagine I went to a doctor and I told him, I hurt my knee. And he goes, "So tell me about your knee. And what hurt your knee?" And just tells me, wants me to express the problem, but not give me the solution. If you're sitting in a therapist's office or you're just there to speak about your past or what you're going through, but not get given mechanisms to change that going forward, what is the purpose? I think our therapy used to be our friends for this reason, when they were the ones that can tell us that we're overreacting. Like, all right, you're doing too much. Well, we had a community of people that could tell us about ourselves because they're watching from the caring eye and the righteous eye. They have the right to tell you what you're doing because you're doing it to the community. Now, if you have a mental illness, bipolar, you know what I'm saying, schizophrenia, then that's something you need to seek at a high level, right? And it's hard for us to understand that don't go through those things. So we never want to take away from those people. But you can't be going through therapy or say you're going to therapy and remain the same person. The best apology is change behavior. If there's something that you don't like about yourself, it is up to you to change that for yourself. For you. Because a lot of us are projecting our problems to people and we are dealing with enough ourselves. You know what you deserve? To be good energy for the people around you and for yourself. Because I don't care what you say. We're not here by ourselves. We're not. Everything requires people. Everything requires a conversation. Everything requires interaction. So please, for the love of your mother, get good at course correcting the way you think about things. Because here's what we're not doing too. A lot of us are getting busy just so we don't think. You don't got the time to process what's going on. How do you grow and evolve? You get busy. Shout out to those who run away. You go through things and you keep running away. Let me say, they're still chasing you. The problems are still chasing you. You get busy not to think, to feel overwhelmed and feel like time is just going to go through with that. It's like, it doesn't work, y'all. You know, this is something I want to speak about right here that's big. If you have a friend, this is my calling for this message right here. Friend, family member. The value of that relationship, what weighs more? The value of y'all being around each other or the ego as to why y'all don't speak to each other no more? Some of us are losing valuable pieces in our lives for the smallest. It's too many conversations I'm having where best friends, yo, hear me out, son. If you are best friends, y'all not talking for something this fucking small, nah, you're doing a disservice to the people around you. Because if we see you have a fallout continuously with the closest people to you, what happens to the new people in your circle? I'm just trying to tell you. You got conflict resolution, my lovely people. Seek to understand than to be understood. You know what we got to get better at? When there is change, if you finally are going through something and the people around you are changing, acknowledge the change. Acknowledge the change so the door can open so you can do the same. Because what's scary is if you have not evolved in all these years, what's going to happen in 10? You ever had a conversation with a 60-year-old or a 50-year-old and you felt like you were speaking to somebody who was 16? My question to you is, do you really feel that there's things that used to make you move away or react away that you now know that if it happened today, it can't do that to you because you're in control? Reading a book is essential. Reading a book is essential because it practices that ability to monitor the tone of the voice, the imagination of how to exercise your own voice to your head is essential. Read the right books and then apply what you're learning. Because information is not power. Application of information, it's what's power. Some of us are too powerful to feel powerless. You have to. You have to. You just have to. Jesus. And all in all, look, I'm no therapist, okay? But I think I'm a great person. So I care to think about what I have around me. People have seen me do things in sales where a customer will walk in. This is recent. As a matter of fact, let's talk about it. I had a customer come into the store where her words were, y'all robbing me from my money. Y'all taking $900, $700, $600 off of my credit card and y'all not applying it to my bill. Not going to disclose the lady or the company. And as soon as she said it, I'm like, I think that's impossible. But if you coming in here with this problem, you have the right to be this mad. Hear me. I don't know what you did prior to coming into the store, right? You have the right to have this anger and this rage. So it's my job to understand what you're going through first, have sympathy, be empathetic to what's going on, and really try to come with a solution. All right. I got on the phone with the credit card company first, and I was acting as if I was her son to get the details of the credit card information. Then I called our company to mirror and match what I got, and she saw how I went above and beyond. I was with that lady for 2 hours. Now, we got some explanation, but you know what changed? The way she spoke to me. Because when she realized I was there to help and serve her, where we were on the same team, the people that we're supposed to yell at are the people who are doing the problem, not the person here to change and solve the problem. She gave me a 10 on the survey, right? Some of my coworkers or my manager was like, how the heck? Because I was seeking to understand than to be understood. I say that to say, the old me, it's something about projecting what you're going through on me without knowing me that didn't rub me the right way, because I'm mindful of that. I'm mindful of that. So when other people don't do that, it does something to me. And then I learned I'm not everyone. So give grace. Giving grace is not comfortable sometimes, all right? It isn't comfortable. But understand the power of doing so. That's how you allow people to change, when she can now say, there is someone that actually would go out their way and listen and care. Maybe I could come in a different way going forward. I didn't have the right to speak the way, to reflect, because if fire meets fire, it burns the place down. I want you to know that you're worth the growth. I want you to know that you're supposed to inspire somebody around you that's been looking at you quietly and silently and say, wow, that is something that I've never thought can happen. And last but not least, some of you got to make that fucking phone call already. If you're in the wrong and you know you're in the wrong, make the call, yo. Like, you making it weird for everybody. We can't call Fulani down because we don't. At least have an adult conversation. To know you have it in you, because things like this will come across your table later on. And if you missing the preparation, it's going to hurt more later. If this was something that you can take and serves you, if it's calling to you, if you feel like you're going to make a phone call after this, if this was for you, you know the deal we had. No te haga la loca. Listen to me. The reason I'm telling you is because I'm looking at the analytics. You looking at it, you liking it, you're not subscribing. If I deserve it and earned it, do it. Because your mom loves me too. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope this helped. Hope this served you. It's another message from the Bald-Headed Dominican from the Bronx, in the Living Room Podcast, where we learn, laugh, and heal.